Hi guys, welcome to the Games Hut PS Plus Roundup. Today it is myself, Ollie, and Rich.
Hello.
And Matt.
Hello.
So today we're going to be talking about the games that are coming out on PS Plus for the month of
March.
April.
The year is flying by. So let's kick off with Pro Evolution Soccer 2014.
Yes.
I must admit, I am not the world's biggest football fan. I'm not afraid of saying that, but whenever
Never mind.
But I will say, whenever I've played football games with friends, and I don't know what it's like now with all the modern games, but on the PS2 era and a little bit on PS3, it was always Pro Evo for me.
Right.
There was something about that game which was just a little bit more enjoyable than FIFA.
I'm just really unfamiliar with all of them, to be honest. So
I'm I'm the football guy of HUD. I've always been a FIFA guy. Although back in the PS2 era, I did play a few PESs, as they're known. I think Pro Evo has been somewhat catching up very slowly for the last few years. FIFA, I think it was kind of, I think it was like 2010, 2011. Those versions just really started, honing the craft. EA really, brought it, and Pro Evo was kind of like, crap, we're kind of left behind quite considerably.
FIFA's quite a big household name, isn't it? And like Pro Evo still doesn't seem to have that. I don't know, that catch, that hook that FIFA seems to have.
It's it does not help by the fact that it doesn't have any licensed players or teams.
Yeah.
It's still in its very Japanese quirky stage.
When I was playing through this, it gives you like the regions, doesn't it, of like England or global, but doesn't give you the proper names. I actually chose a team with 2 unicorns on it, just because I thought unicorn love. Let's get some of that on the go.
It's just full of that Japanese quirk. I mean, it still plays very well.
I think that was always the thing that I really liked about it. Whenever I got to play it, was the controls felt a little bit different to FIFA. I'm sure you can set FIFA up to be exactly how you want it, but coming from a person who doesn't play football or really enjoy watching football, playing Pro Evo was always a really good fun for me. I really enjoyed that game. It's really difficult to sort of really talk about it when you don't invest in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, so the other game on is Sly Cooper.
Thieves in Time.
Yeah.
And is this PS3? This is PS3.
PS3 and PS Vita.
PS3 and Vita.
Cross buy, cross save, cross everything.
As it should be.
Yeah, it's a great game. I completed it quite a while ago on my Vita. I bought the cross buy. I mean, have you guys played any of the other Slies?
No, this is the first sort of experience of it. I really enjoyed it. The humour's great. It's a good little platformer.
It's back from from the day, harking back to the days when platformers were the thing.
Yeah.
It's still, however great it is, you knew the reason why platformers have kind of died a death-ish, because unless it's Mario, Jak and Daxter stopped, Naughty Dog stopped doing Jak and Daxter for a reason, because they knew that it was a dying breed. And this is not taking anything away from Sly at all. It's still fun, it's still competent, but it's just I'm not entirely sure of its place in the world anymore, which is unfortunate. But it does well for what it is.
It reminds me a lot of Jak and Daxter.
Yes. Just
looking at it like now, it has a real Jak and Daxter vibe to it. Which isn't essentially a bad thing. No,
it as I say, it's very solid, and it does everything it does well. The cell shading is beautiful, and on the Vita it looks absolutely phenomenal.
Just from looking at the gameplay, it does look like one of these games that really just looks like it's going to lend itself perfectly to Vita. I mean, it almost feels like Vita could be a new home for platforming games, where you have like the dual analog sticks, where you just don't have that on a 3DS. Well, you can if you get the circle pad, but You know, they don't. You know, things like Monster Hunter on the 3DS. You know, it's built for the Circle Pad Pro, where if you don't have it, you are kind of hindered. Whereas something like this, or even Monster Hunter on the Vita, would be perfect, because this is just built for that. You know, extra camera angle movement.
I've been saying for a while. I mean, I've said it in podcasts before and videos before that you know, games like Guacamelee and we'll speak about Hotline Miami in a minute. But those kind of games really do lend themselves to the Vita system very well, because you know, these kind of games you can just go in and go out, you know, whenever you want. You know, if you're in a quick 10-minute train ride or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, it's not a massive thing like, you know, Skyrim or whatever. You know, you have to invest a certain amount of time before you get anything back. You know, you can literally just smash out a level in a few minutes, and you know, it's instant fun. You know, platformers are the way forward for Vita, very much so, I think.
Yeah, it'd be good to sort of see the Vita take off a little bit more. I think it is starting to creep in a bit more now. Like, I don't know what it is that Sony are doing to try and creep those sales in, but it's it definitely feels like it needs a swan song.
Yes.
You know, I think it needs a something to come along and make people be like, yeah, this is a really good idea.
Well, I think it's definitely going to help with you know, PlayStation Now, and with you know, the cross-buy, cross-save feature, and also the remote play feature, which is I use a lot on the PS4.
Yeah, it works really well. So I mean, yeah, I think that Sony are doing really well at the moment with a lot of their games, and I'm glad that they're doing it on PS Plus now as well. Is that multi-platform thing? So you download it for your PS3 or your PS4, download it to your Vita as well. You know, you've said it in your Fez video, and it's something we were talking about earlier, Matt. It just increases the lifespan of that game really nicely.
Yeah, man.
Right. So next on
PS4 is Mercenary Kings.
Yes,
is it?
Yeah. I've spent quite a while with it, actually. There'll be a review up soon from either myself or Neil. It harks back to the good old days, as they would like you to believe, of platforming again.
Right.
But you know, it has its quirks. It's very 80s action orientated. You know, very they try and portray these larger than life characters, and you know, in a kind of 2D domain.
It's made by the same company as who did Scott Pilgrim, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, which I don't know if you played that.
Yeah, that was good.
It was alright, wasn't it?
I enjoyed it.
It's got a very similar art style to it, hasn't
Yes.
it? But,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of beef from people in the last, you know, months or so, because PS4, PS Plus content isn't as good as the PS3. But you know, you've got to realise that, you know, it's still an infant console, and you know, you're not going to get, like, you know, games like Killzone straight away. I mean, where would be the profit for Sony?
It makes no sense to do that.
No, exactly.
It is quite funny though that, like, Pez and Sly Cooper together is like 20 gigs worth of download or something ridiculous, or probably more. And what the PS4 is like 148 megabytes or something. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean, like, you know, it's still a great little game.
So. And I absolutely love Sony's attitude so far on PS4 with the indie initiative. You know, these games wouldn't be touched by loads of people if they didn't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can safely say I probably wouldn't have gone near Resogun, not because it's a terrible game, but because it's just not the typical sort of game I would have paid money for. You know, I wouldn't naturally go with the shmup because it's not my sort of thing. But it was free, it looked great, and it also happened to be a game that I platinumed because I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that that's what the PS Plus is going to do with me on PS4. It's going to give me these odd little games that I wouldn't essentially go out and buy, but because it's free, you kind of go, oh, well, I'll give it a go, and all of a sudden you find yourself in this really addictive state of mind, you know, playing a game that might not be the, you know, Skyrim or GTA 5 in terms of its scope and what you can do with it, but in terms of enjoyment and connectivity.
I think, you know, for Mercenary Kings in particular, this time I think it's a little bit too thin
Yeah, I
Mercenary
would agree.
Kings. I think there's a lot of content.
It's very challenging as well.
100 levels, and there's a lot to do. But I just think that there's not enough variety there.
No.
But as it's free, you might as well check it out. And
Absolutely.
there's certainly some things to be said about the game. And
Yeah, definitely.
And Hotline Miami? Is
Yeah.
that on
PS3
PS
and
Plus?
Vita as well. Yeah.
Jesus, I mean, now that is a game that I've been meaning to go near for months.
It
Like,
is
literally
absolutely
months.
brilliant. It is so much fun.
I think the first thing I'm going to do when I get home tonight actually is I'm going to download it for Vita.
Yeah. Do it.
I think it's something
Do it.
I've been needing something new to put on the Vita, and I think that's just going to be the perfect excuse.
Oh yeah, I mean you will go back and back and back and try and better your scores and I literally can't wait for the PS4 version. I mean I've blasted PS3 and the Vita version together. I've had them for quite a while now, and every now and again I still go back to Hotline Miami on my Vita if I'm on a train or whatever, because it's just. Well, it's a stress reliever as well, really. It's it's
The thing I love about it, like I've watched, I haven't watched any playthroughs because I find people talking over it actually quite frustrating. Normally, there's quite a lot of games that I can watch people talk over and it's enjoyable. But Hotline Miami, the one thing that I really want to happen when I'm either watching people play it or when I get around to actually playing it myself now is just to listen to that effing gorgeous soundtrack.
Yeah, man.
So good.
Jesus, that soundtrack is so good, and it's not in keeping with what I'm about to compare it to, but in terms of visual versus sound as like a juxtaposition, it really made me think of Drive.
Yeah.
Like it's the college, isn't it? That do
Yes.
a lot of the music in Drive, or all the music, or whichever it is. But it really just emphasizes what you're watching like tenfold. And I found that with Hotline Miami, like watching people play it. It's the one thing that drives that game to like another level is that soundtrack. So I just can't wait.
It's
Can't
by
wait.
far the pick of the month, easily. If you haven't checked it out already, definitely.
Are there any other titles on?
Yeah, the last one is MotoGP13, I believe, on
Okay.
Vita.
Is that the Vita only?
Yes, it is. That's a long-standing series.
MotoGP, it's very, very respected.
Yeah.
Bike fans go nuts for it.
Yeah, definitely. I actually haven't checked it out yet, but those kind of games have never really done anything for me, unfortunately. But it's I have played them before, and they are competent racers, involving bikes. So
Yeah, if you like
fair
bikes, give it a
Yeah.
Billy Blast.
Yeah.
So that's your month's worth of free games on PS Plus. If you don't have PS Plus yet, then you really need to think about paying out for it.
Yeah,
even if it is £5 a month.
We've been banging on about it for every single video since we started this thing. So yeah,
It's a worthy investment. You get free games if you own a PS3, a PS4, a Vita, or a combination of all three. Get your PS Plus on now. So you can check us out for more videos on YouTube. Just click on the subscribe button. That will keep you up to date with everything we're putting out. We're on all the different social networks: facebook.com/GamesHard, twitter.com/GamesHard, pinterest.com/GamesHard, twitch.tv/GamesHard. I got that right. And also the main website, which is gameshard.net. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
cheers.